Hey everyone, welcome back to Couch Conversations with Sasha Love. I'm your host, Sasha Love, and today on our final episode on living a LOB or living a life on a budget, we're going to talk about accepting abundance. Okay, so I love talking about this because for a good, significant portion of my life, accepting good things and accepting abundance has been a struggle for me. It's been a struggle for me because for a long time I believe I didn't deserve it. I wasn't worthy of it, and I wasn't capable of um, accepting that or receiving that into my life. I thought that I deserved to be punished. I thought I deserved to struggle. I thought I deserved to just have it hard, just have it rough, especially when it came to the financial space. But in this episode, I want to target and talk to you, a woman just like me in a stage that, in that space, in that mental space, in that emotional, spiritual space, to speak to you about the gift and the beauty of accepting abundance. So the first thing when someone sees this video, accepting abundance, all right, so that means accepting the checks, accepting the bonuses, accepting the promotions and all those types of things. While that is part of it, but it is not the only part of it. Because what I quickly learned in my journey of finances is the more that you obsess about something, the more it consumes your life and the more stress you get from it. So, what I had to learn about accepting abundance is redefining what abundance means. Okay. So, sometimes when there's not a lot of money in your bank account, and we're just going to keep it real. Sometimes when there's not a lot of money in your bank account and you're wondering how you're going to make ends meet, how you're going to make things work, how are you going to move forward in life? Like it's tempting to feel defeated and dejected and just like discouraged. Let's be real. But in that space, sometimes when we're so focused on just a dollar bill in our lives, we miss out on all the other incredible blessings that God has given us. From family to friends to mentors, teachers, to having a car that runs. Yeah, it may not be the newest car. Yes, it may not be the best car. Yes, it may not be the sexiest car. It may not even be your dream car. Fine, but it is a car. And it gets you from point A to point B. You have a job. You have life. You have air in your lungs. You're able to move. You're able to talk, communicate. You're able to connect. Your heart is beating. You're able to eat. You're able to enjoy the smells of food. You're able to embrace God's nature. You're who you are. You are so loved and you are so gifted and cherished and honored. And the list goes on and on. But I learned to widen my view of abundance. Because truth of the matter is, when you're in a place where you are wondering how you're going to cover some bills and some expenses, it's hard. It's hard not to just only focus on that. It's hard not to just stay stuck on that or perseverate on that thought. But what that does is that it robs you and steals you of your joy and of your peace. And that's a problem. Anything that robs your joy and peace, listen, we got to take care of it. And one of the ways I took care of it was widening my scope and learning. And it wasn't comfortable either. And sometimes I had to do it petty, like, God, well, thank you for the car. I mean, it's not what I wanted, but thank you. Sometimes it starts like that. But then as you start seeing the benefits of having this heart of gratitude and recognizing the abundance that's already around you, then it becomes, God, you know what? Thank you for this car. I've had it for 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, and it still runs and it's loyal and it's faithful to me. And thank you for the gift and opportunity to be able to take care of it, to wash it, to gas it up, to clean it, to be able to have people in it, to pray in it, to cry in it, to just be me in it, to listen to music, to jam and praise you and just, rock out. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the food I had to eat today. Thank you for the people I was able to talk to. Thank you for the opportunity to connect with people, even if it had nothing to do with my financial wellness or financial well-being or moving forward in that space. But thank you for that connection. Thank you for that opportunity. Thank you for another day. Sometimes we can forget, but we're not entitled to the days that we have. These are gifts. And as we start recognizing the abundance around us it changes our heart, it changes our minds, it changes our perspective, it changes the way that we move through life. And we no longer stay focused and stuck on our finances. When that happens, and I know it sounds crazy and weird, but when I'm in that space of more gratitude and being mindful of the abundance around me, things just start working out. I start appreciating things as they are, and just things start moving. Whether it's a new job, whether it's, a business opportunity that pops up, whether it's a connection with someone, whether it's resources that become available, whether it's an article that pops up or a documentary that pops up, regardless of what happens, but something happens and I learn something. I learned how to manage money better. I learned about expenses I need to cut out. I learned how to say no to things. I learned how to appreciate what I have. I learned how to be mindful of how I spend my money. I learned how to be mindful about certain purchases and subscriptions. I learned how far to stretch myself and how what my current limitations are. I learned what it means to trust God. You know how uncomfortable that is? How painful that is? But yet still an opportunity and a joy and a privilege too at the same time once you get through some of the rough parts. But like all of these things come wrapped into that experience of accepting abundance. It also separates this anchor that I give to money as being my source of joy and peace and security. Let's be real. Money is how the world works. Money talks. Money is how things get done. Money is how things move in this world, in this life. It is what it is. That's the reality of things. But what I need to do and need to learn is that I cannot tie and equate my happiness with how much money I have, because it'll come and go. I'll have money there and then I won't. I may be in a season of abundance and I may be in a season of seemingly lack. So while I'm going through those very real experiences, because they're not for the not lighthearted, not for the weak, but I had to learn, like, I cannot tie my happiness to that, because if that's the case, then in the seasons where I didn't have much, then I would have been miserable, and miserable for months, years, seasons on end. And I don't know about you, but that for me is, I can't. It's just not the way I want to live life. And I know for sure that's not how God intended us for us to live our lives. And while I may not have all the answers, but when I started cutting that tie between my sense of peace and joy and happiness away from how much money I had, it made a difference for me. I had more peace. I had more openness, open-mindedness, and an appreciation, for where I currently was in life right now. Now, does that mean that everything all of a sudden becomes happy? I'm waking up and I'm happy that I only see $30 in my bank account? Let's not go too far. But what it means is I have a different perspective. I'm open-minded. I'm more trusting. And even though it may not be easy, because it doesn't mean that it's easy to be in these seasons, easy to be in these spaces, but I learn to appreciate what can I cherish, what can I be grateful for in this space. Because those that handle little well will then go on to handle more well. So in other words, if you've been given 3 talents, and by some people that may be a little bit, and for some that may be a lot, but you learn how to manage that well, then that means that when you're able to manage more and you're able to manage more well. So that's another thing too. Like, you learn these lessons and you learn these pearls. Like, I wish I had millions to work with, but I don't. But had I had millions now, I probably would squander all of it, because I needed to learn how to manage money well. I needed to learn how to budget. I needed to learn how to appreciate what I have, so that now that when that time comes, look at me speaking into existence. So when that time comes, money doesn't have a hold on me, because it was never what brought me happiness in the first place. It was never what was a source of my value and worth and peace and meaning in life. It's a resource, it's a tool that now I know how to use much better because of what I experienced and what I went through. Doesn't mean that it's easy. Doesn't mean there aren't days that I'm crying and asking God why. Doesn't mean that there aren't moments I'm just like, really, God? Like, still? Even now? But what it does do for me is that it gives me hope. It gives me hope. It opens my mind and it makes me appreciate the life that I've been given now. And instead of saying, I'll be happy when I have X, Y, and Z, I can truly experience what it means to have joy, purpose, and meaning now in my life. So, what are your thoughts? Is this something that is helpful for you? This concept of stretching this concept of abundance and to really appreciate the good around you. Have you had your own experience with operating from a place of being grateful and noticing that things just seem to work out better, whether that's just more internally or externally or a combination of both? I challenge you, even in this real place, in this real space, be real about your emotions, be real about what you think, be real about what you feel. And also challenge yourself to stretch a little in faith, knowing that, you know what, I may not be where I want to be right now, but I am grateful for blank. Even if it's just one thing, and even if you got a little attitude when you say it, that's fine. God will meet you where you're at. You know, we will meet you where you're at, and you deserve to be met where you're at. So embrace it. You know, look at abundance from a different perspective and appreciate the gifts that you have been given now. So until next time, thank you for joining me on this incredible journey of life on a low. It was a little bit of a teaser, but let me know if it was helpful for you. Would you like more episodes like this? Would you like more seasons like this where we talk about things that are real and practical? I know in this particular series, I did more things that were kind of navigating the emotions and like some of the pitfalls and challenges we may feel and experience in our financial journey. But maybe in the future, I can be more specific and share like some strategies, practical strategies. So if you find that helpful, or if you think that would be helpful for you, definitely let me know. But with that, I will leave you to it. Thank you for the incredible opportunity to be a part of your journey. And I pray for blessings over you. I pray for you to have this feeling of abundance, even in a space where the bank account is not where you want it to be, where your savings is not where you want it to be, where your investments are not where you want them to be. And know that regardless of where you are worthy and deserving of happiness, joy, peace, and all the good things. So love y'all. Until next time, share with other people too, of course. But until next time, take care. Bye. Pop your melanin, girlfriend. Pop your melanin.